and welcome in everybody to this Behind the Arc basketball edition. And we got a good one in store for you guys today. The rare #1 matchup between the Virginia Cavaliers and the Duke Blue Devils here, coming to you from Durham, North Carolina at the Cameron Indoor Stadium. Got a great game on hand for you guys. #1 in the coaches poll is the Virginia Cavaliers. #1 in the AP 25 top 25 is the Duke Blue Devils. As we got what could be in store is a close game, hopefully, as I'll go over Virginia. So just getting going. Last time they lost was against UMBC, where they lost in the round of 64 to March Madness tournament. After that, Virginia is now 16-0, 4-0 in ACC play, as they haven't lost since, haven't lost this year. They're the only team to not lose this year, as that was the first time that a 16 seed beat a #1 seed in the March Madness tournament. Let's get to the scoring defense for Virginia, the best scoring defense right now in all of college basketball, as they allow opponents to an average of 51.7 points per game. That's the #1 scoring defense for the Virginia Cavaliers in all college basketball. But today they got a test on hand against the Duke Blue Devils with a #3 scoring offense in all college basketball. Duke is only third to Gonzaga, which is second, and the Citadel, which plays in the Southern Conference, is first. Duke averages 90.3 points per game, and I'll go over the key players later, but 3 NBA caliber athletes could be top 5 picks right there for the Duke Blue Devils, as they could make an impact on this game, as Duke could also pose a problem down low for Virginia, as Duke leads the nation in blocks, the average blocks per game. Duke right now is 8.1 blocks per average on the game. Now, you know what team is second to that and what their average is? Well, the team that's in second for blocks has an average of 6.4 blocks per game compared to Duke's 8.1. The team that's second in blocks per game behind Duke is Washington with the Huskies, and they average 6.4 blocks per game. As we'll go over Virginia right now with their defensive rank, because it's #1 in three-point defense, as they only allow opponents to shoot 25.1% of their shots and convert those shots from the outside, as that's only 25.1% defense from three-point range. As Virginia, they're also in the top 5 right now in the nation for defensive shooting percentage allowed, allowing only opposing teams to shoot around 37% or so from the floor. So defense versus offense, we'll see. Top defense in the nation, only allowing 51.7 points per game, going up against a top 3 offense in all college basketball with Duke. 90.3 points per game Duke scores. So this is going to be a pretty intense game, I'd have to say. ACC play. And we got to talk about the key players for both teams. Virginia, it's just going to be Duke trying to stop the junior guard for the Cavaliers, Ty Jerome, who had a career high 12 assists in the last win that Virginia had in the rivalry game against Virginia Tech, who was ranked #9. Yeah, Virginia blew them out. It wasn't even close, as Virginia beat #9 Virginia Tech 81-59 on Tuesday. 12 assists for Ty Jerome. And Jerome could pose a problem today for Duke to defend if they're without Tre Jones. As I'll get to that, as we'll go over Duke now and the Duke Blue Devils, as Tre Jones, the star point guard for the Blue Devils, first in the ACC in assists. Well, the team for Duke, they couldn't make it up towards the end of that game, as they were missing Jones badly, as he was injured, and what at first was believed to be a serious injury for Tre Jones, as he tried to go up for a loose ball that was batted down off the glass around the free throw line against Syracuse. And then he collided into a Syracuse player, and then he got injured on that play, and it was ruled that he had an AC joint separation to that. But however, it's believed not as serious as it first looked, as this is what Coach K told the sports reporting website, The Athletic, that Jones's injury wasn't as bad, that he could be returning way sooner than expected. And he also returned to practice yesterday, participated in some of the team drills. So he's questionable for this game, surprisingly, for Trey Jones, which we all thought would be out indefinitely for a while after that injury against Syracuse. So Duke is on a one-game losing streak. They lost the first time at home earlier this week to Syracuse. They were stunned that Syracuse is a bubble team. They lost on that. Yeah, that was on Monday in overtime, 95-91. Trey Jones's injury definitely could be a big reason why, as the Cameron Crazies should be pumped up tonight for another home game, and they're trying to take down the only undefeated team left, as there were two and now there's one. Michigan lost today to Wisconsin, so this is it. Virginia, the only unbeaten out here in college basketball. As we look to the key players for Duke, and I'll get into the key player that has to make a difference, has to be a top 3 NBA draft pick come June, possibly first in the draft. That'd be Zion Williamson, the 6'7" freshman forward. As back in October, in an interview, Coach K, he told ESPN that Zion's one of the most unique athletes that he's ever coached at Duke, and everybody was just blown away by that. But yeah, it's proving to be true that Zion definitely ranking in all types of categories right now in the ACC for what he can do. And he ranks first in ACC right now with shooting percentage at 66.2 points per game. Or 66.2, that's the shooting percentage. So he shoots 66.2% from the floor. Points per game, he's second in the ACC, and he's behind his teammate with that for the points per game. RJ Barrett's first in the ACC for points per game. He has 23.4 points per game. Zion Williamson has 21.2 points per game on average. So both of those guys rank 1 and 2 in ACC conference play right now for points per game, as RJ Barrett, the freshman forward, number 5, with 23.4 points per game on average, and Zion Williamson with 21.2 points per game. But yeah, what makes Zion just a freak of an athlete just has to be that complete skill set, that what it takes to be going to the NBA, and his vertical jump really sets the tone for that one, as Zion broke a school record for his vertical jump, as he had a 45-inch vertical jump. He could add that to his name as well. When the scouts for the NBA draft look at him, such a freak of an athlete. We'll see what he can do today, because he poses a big threat inside, all over the place. Leads Duke in rebounds also with 9.4 rebounds per game on average. That's good for 4th in the ACC. Just almost every single category Zion ranks as being like top 5 in the ACC or so in the conference. And as we get going throughout this, we'll give you updates, and definitely. So I went over Zion Williamson, and then we had RJ Barrett, who he dropped a season high 32 points last Saturday against Florida State. Didn't look like Duke was going to win that game at all against Florida State, but they came back and won it at the buzzer because of this guy, Cam Reddish, who put up the game winner as Florida State left him uncovered last week. And then he shot the ball wide open with 2 seconds left, got it at the buzzer, and Cam Reddish proved to have the game winner in him last week for the Duke Blue Devils to put the game winner in over the Florida State Seminoles. As we look at both of the teams' schedules of what they've done so far, as we got about 10 minutes or so to the tip-off. Duke has the 7th toughest strength of schedule in the nation right now. Against the top 25, they're 4-1. And The only team that they lost to in the top 25 was Gonzaga. Gonzaga ranked second in points per game scored. And then the other game on Monday, they were just stunned by Syracuse. They couldn't come back from the Trey Jones injury. So seventh toughest strength of schedule. On the other side, strength of schedule, not that difficult for the Virginia Cavaliers, as they played their strength of schedule overall is 50th in the nation. Non-conference, however, more of a cupcake schedule when you come from a powerhouse ACC conference. They have the 149th toughest schedule out of 353 teams in college basketball for the Virginia Cavaliers. However, that's balanced by their ACC conference schedule. That's the fifth toughest schedule in the nation for their conference schedule. As we look to the top 25 games played by both of the teams, the Duke Blue Devils had some wins in there, but as we went for the top 25 for Virginia, they're 4-0 against the top 25 as they beat Wisconsin, who was in the top 25, and that helped out the resume of Virginia as well, as Wisconsin beat undefeated Michigan today, and Virginia beat Wisconsin back in non-conference play earlier in the season, 53-46. They also beat previously ranked Maryland, which was 24th ranked at the time when they played them. They beat them by 5. That is the closest margin to Virginia right now, is that 76-71 game against Maryland. It was at the Terrapins court. And then Virginia played against Florida State, beat them by 14. And then against Virginia Tech on Tuesday, blew them out by 22. And as we look right now, we're going to go into ACC play and discuss what the ACC looks like and look back at some of the scores before we get to this Duke-Virginia matchup in a couple minutes, about 5 minutes away from tip-off here. Feel free to like the channel, like the video as well, subscribe, and hit that big red subscribe button down below. About 5 minutes to tip-off here, as you're right now been watching Behind the Arc Basketball on YouTube. And feel free to interact with me in the chat as well. We look at the ACC standings as the Cavaliers of Virginia sit at top of that 4-0 in ACC play, 16-0 overall. North Carolina, after getting blown out by Louisville last week, UNC right now is second in the conference at 4-1. There's a bunch of teams at 3-1 though, Virginia Tech being one of them. Louisville and Duke, we'll see if Duke can move to 4-1 or 3-2 after this one. Syracuse moves to 3-1. Syracuse was on the bubble, but that win might have just put them forward into the latest bracketology, March Madness projection brackets, but we still have 2 months to go. But along with Syracuse would be Arizona State in there and Washington as well on the bubble, and we still have 2 months of college basketball, so we'll see how that gets sorted out when Selection Sunday comes around mid-March or so. So we look at the other teams. We have 6 teams that's ranked in the top 25 currently. For the ACC, Duke at 1. This is the AP. Virginia at 4. Virginia Tech at 9, then Florida State at 11. But Florida State in conference play is 1-3 right now, and 13-4 overall. So conference play can definitely determine who's in the top 25 and who goes out, as we saw earlier with Indiana, as they were number 25 in the AP top 25, and they just lost their 4th game in a row as they lost earlier to Purdue. North Carolina State's in the top 25 as well in the AP. They're 17th right now, and that just about does it for the ACC, as we got another top 25 matchup come Monday night. That'd be the North Carolina Tar Heels and the Virginia Tech Hokies taking on each other, as we got a couple minutes to go before tip-off here between the Cavaliers and the Blue Devils. Virginia against Duke, as it will take place at the Cameron Indoor Stadium with a capacity of attendance of about 9,314 fans that could be on hand for today. So we look at the other scores. We'll look at the ACC first. Virginia Tech leading against Wake Forest right now, 71-59, with 6:25 left to go. As Virginia Tech's trying to close out that game. Other games in store, Louisville. They keep on rolling after crushing North Carolina last week. They're crushing Georgia Tech this week. They're up 69-39 right now against Georgia Tech as other games go that finished earlier in ACC play. Number 13, North Carolina rolled to an 85-76 victory over Miami. North Carolina State beat Notre Dame by 4, and Syracuse with another win. They beat Pittsburgh by 11 today. So Syracuse keeps on rolling on and trying to fall off the bubble and be outside the first 4 out and now into the projected bracket or so when those brackets come out. So we're almost underway here. A couple minutes to go before tip-off. We'll look to see what else happened in all of college basketball. Inside the top 25, we got ourselves quite a game. Kentucky and Auburn. 76-73. Kentucky's up by 3 in the SEC. And that has around 2.5 minutes left in that game. As Bryce Brown for Auburn has 26 points in that one. Leading scorer for Kentucky is Reed Travis with 17. He has 6 rebounds as well. Other top 25 games, what I talked about earlier, Michigan losing to Wisconsin. Tennessee held on to a nail-biter. They were up 44-32 at the half, and then Alabama came back, but Tennessee able to hold off Alabama despite John Petty putting up 30 against the Volunteers. So Tennessee moves on, 16-1 now for the Volunteers as they won 71-68. Kansas winning close games left and right. That's been the story this season. They beat Texas on Monday with a close matchup. They couldn't pull out the close one today at West Virginia. West Virginia moves to 500, gets their first Big 12 victory of the season. They beat Kansas 65-64. So we look at other ranked games earlier today. Purdue beating out Indiana 70-55. Ole Miss, they rolled in another win for the running Rebels as they move on, beating Arkansas today 84-67. Ole Miss, their first week ever in the top 25 since 2013, and looks like they'll stay for another week as their signature win against Mississippi State last week propelled them into that top 25, and they just don't look back ever since. They moved to 14-3 on the season, 4-1 in conference play. As we got a couple of minutes left before this tip-off here at Cameron Indoor Stadium with the Duke Blue Devils and the Virginia Cavaliers. Tip-off almost ready in this one. So there's one thing to point out about Duke is it would be Jack White, the junior from Australia, who got some playing time against Syracuse, and these numbers are not good at all, not a good reflection, as he fouled out, got 5 fouls. He played 42 minutes in the game against Syracuse that Duke lost by 4 in overtime. Jack White had 0 points in that game in his 42 minutes, and he fouled out. So not a great game at all played by him. And, of course, Duke is definitely looking to rebound after that one. So feel free to like the video, subscribe to my channel, and you can as well chat with me about anything college basketball. Got some great NFL games tomorrow as well. Rams Saints, Pats Chiefs. It's the AFC and NFC conference titles tomorrow. The biggest college basketball game of the day, which is almost on their way, as we're almost here to tip off, as I'm giving you the play-by-play of what's going on in this tip-off. As we're almost ready. Couple minutes, so here we go. So it looks like we're almost there to begin this stream of Duke and Virginia. Is a couple minutes away from tip-off right now. And the only undefeated team left on the season is the Virginia Cavaliers at 16-0, 4-0 in ACC play. They're 4-0 this season. Had away games, Duke coming in 8-1 at home. The only loss was against Syracuse, which Duke was stunned at home on Monday against Syracuse and suffered the loss of their star guard, Tre Jones. We're almost underway here. A couple minutes until Virginia and Duke, as the stream is almost up here. To get ready for this game, a couple key players to note out would definitely be the leading scorer for the Cavaliers would be Kyle Guy, who's coming into the game with 15.3 points per game on average. Shooting the ball from the floor is 47.2%. Shooting the ball from the floor. And what Virginia does well is shoot the three ball. And they have a couple of guys on this team who shoot the ball over 40% from three, Kyle Guy being one of them, with 46.7% from three-point range. That's Kyle Guy for Virginia. Other people who shooting the three ball well for the Cavaliers, that would be Ty Jerome, and it's tough to guard him as well. See, if Tre Jones is out today, it could be very, very tough to stop this Cavalier offense with Ty Jerome. Number one on the team for Virginia with total assists, averaging 4.9 per game, and he also shoots 41.2% of his shots he converts on from behind the arc. As you're tuning in to Behind the Arc Basketball on YouTube, Virginia and Duke almost underway here. As we're almost there, we're getting the stream underway. A couple more minutes, and it should be tip-off time at Duke. It still says that the event's about to begin, so we have to stand by on the stream. So this game is going to start momentarily as we're just waiting for it to start here. As we got Mamadi Diakite for Virginia. Diakite, as he converts on 58% of his shots from the floor. He's also a 42.9 three-point shooter from the field for the season. He could pose a big threat in this game as well for Diakite. As we look to the starting lineup for the Duke Blue Devils, Zion Williamson could be a number 3 draft prospect for him, and he can show it from anywhere. With that inside range is quite amazing. 9.4 rebounds per game. That's number 1 on the team. And it goes good for 4th in the ACC. As now looks like we got the stream up. So we're almost ready to go, as it looks like the crowd's on its feet. The Cameron crazies are jumping up. Okay, and here we go. Duke, Virginia. We are going live from courtside. Cameron Indoor Stadium in Durham, North Carolina, as I'm doing play-by-play and live reactions all season long of college basketball games throughout the season and into the March Madness tournament. As here we go, as it looks like Tre Jones didn't suit up for this one. He's on the bench today, so that's a big loss for Duke, as they'll have to see what they can do without Tre Jones, as Duke controls the tip-in. Here we go. We are on our way in Durham. With the ball is Cam Reddish now. Hands it off to Zion. Back to RJ Barrett. And now to Reddish. Reddish spinning inside. Feeds it back out. And 3-ball from RJ Barrett misses. Rebounded by Virginia. So Duke with their first crack at it. Couldn't get that shot to fall from the outside with RJ Barrett. Virginia has the rebound now. Trying to take it up. This is Ty Jerome with the ball at the left corner. Jerome now dribbling out towards the front court with it, as he is guarded by Marquise Bolden. Jerome trying to float it over the top, and he gets it home. 2-0 Virginia strikes first. Past the timeline is RJ Barrett. Hands it off to Zion, now to Cam Reddish. Back to Barrett from the right wing. Now to Zion from the right wing. Zion trying to dribble inside, and inside throws it in to Marquise Bolden. He's looking around for somebody. 11 on the shot clock. They'll set the offense back up again. Jack White is in there. He had 0 points against Syracuse in his 42. Step back 3, and it's good. From the outside for Duke, it is Cam Reddish who knocks down the 3, and he continues from his success last Saturday against Florida State, hitting those 3-pointers as Virginia has the inbounds. It's Ty Jerome. Jerome now guarded by Barrett as he passes it off to DeAndre Hunter. Hunter with it at the top of the key. Passes it off to... That's deep outside 3. No good. And a rimmed out by Virginia. Rebounded by Duke. Going the other way. Passing to the outside. Now Zion trying to dribble inside. Zion stripped of the ball, but he was fouled as he went inside the key. So the first foul on Virginia. Looks like Mamadi Diakite will be the guilty party there for the Cavaliers. As we look at the head coaches, Tony Bennett for the Virginia Cavaliers in his 10th season with a record of 235 and 86 as Duke has the inbounds. Top of the key 3. No good. Off the top of the iron by Cam Reddish. Rebounded by Virginia. Into the hands of Ty Jerome for the Cavaliers. Jerome passes it off to the right wing. That is DeAndre Hunter. Hunter trying to drive inside. And he'll go to the line for 2 as he was fouled there. So if you're just joining us, Virginia took the early 2-0 lead, followed by Duke coming back with a 3-ball from the outside to take back the lead. It is 3-2 Duke. DeAndre Hunter will go to the line to shoot 2. Hunter's 82.1% from the free throw line. He just hit the first. And that one just went off, no good. So rebounded by the Blue Devils. And it's into the hands of Cam Reddish, who passes it off to Zion. Zion trying to drive inside, and he gets rejected. He gets the ball back. Zion passes it off. 3 from the outside by Barrett, no good. Rebounded by the Cavaliers. And they pass the timeline now with it at the right side is Ty Jerome. Gets the ball off, driving to the left side right now. Jack Salt with it, and he hands it off to DeAndre Hunter. Virginia has an open man at the right corner baseline, and they feed it back inside the outside, and now trying to drive inside the paint and gets it to fall in the key is DeAndre Hunter. So Virginia's up 5-3 now. As Duke has it top of the key with Zion. He's going to take the open look in. No, he's off the front of the rim, but Jack White slams it down. Beautiful job by Jack White to get behind the Cavalier defense where nobody could see him and slam down the missed shot off the front rim by Zion. We're tied up at 5 with 16:25. The crowd is loving it here as Virginia has it, trying to drive inside, laid off the glass and in by Kyle Guy of Virginia. Scoring, both of the teams have been doing that early in this game. 7-5, Cavaliers up by 2, 16:05 left in the first. This is Cam Reddish trying to take a defender inside, gets his own rebound off the first miss, puts it back up and in for Cam Reddish. 7-7. Number 1 against number 1. Number 1 in the coaches poll, the Virginia Cavaliers up against number 1 in the AP Top 25, the Duke Blue Devils. dribbling with the ball at the right wing of the perimeter now. With it. This is Ty Jerome trying to go inside, feeds it back outside for the open three outside from the right wing. No good, and rebounded by Jack White of Duke. Taking up the court the other way is Cam Reddish. Cam Reddish at the Coach K logo at the court, passes it off. As this is Barrett now trying to spin inside, and he goes to Williamson, who took it inside and got fouled on the shot, so he'll go to the line for 2 for Zion. Guilty party there on the foul. Looks like, again, it was Mamadi Diakate who got the foul on him. But we got a good one in store for you early in this one. At Durham, North Carolina, with the Virginia Cavaliers and the Duke Blue Devils. As this one's just getting started. 7-7 remaining in the first. Let's put this in the chat. Virginia 7, and we got ourselves 15-20 left on Behind the Arc Basketball on YouTube. So yeah, pretty good game so far. Let's see what's happening for both of these teams. We'll look at the team stats here and see what's going on. Duke hasn't attempted a 3-pointer so far. Virginia has. Virginia's 1 for 2 right now. Duke has hit a 3-pointer. I was looking at the free throw percent. So yeah, so Duke will finally go to the line with Zion. Virginia is 1 for 2 from the free throw line. Okay, yeah, so yeah, 5 3-pointers so far by Duke. They're 1 for 5. Virginia's 0 for 2. Shooting for Behind the Arc right now. So yeah, this one's just getting started. What else we got? Leading scorers. Zion hasn't scored anything yet. He did have a rebound, an offensive rebound, so he does have that. This game just got started, not even 5 minutes in. Cam Reddish has 5 points as he hit a 3-pointer. And he has 3 rebounds as well in there. Should look to foul trouble as well for Virginia. Okay, so Diakite has a foul picked up on him. Ty Jerome has the other foul picked up on him. So I know, yeah, so 2 team fouls right now for the Cavaliers. And looks like 1 foul by the Blue Devils. And Diakite has a block as well. So we're at 7-7. And when we get back from the commercial break, we'll have Zion go to the line to shoot 2 as he tried to drive inside and he was fouled on trying to go inside. As looks like Zion hasn't scored yet in this one. Cam Reddish with 5 points, hit 1 from behind the arc. As looks like we're back here on the stream at Durham, North Carolina at the Cameron Indoor Stadium. As we got ourselves a tie game with the number 1 against the number 1. As Zion will go to the line. And here's the first one by Zion, and it goes down. So it's 9-7 Virginia, as the stream didn't show the first one. So that was the second free throw. So it's 9-7 Duke up against Virginia. Virginia with the ball with 15-10. This is Kyle Guy trying to drive inside with a right hand. He laid it in, but it looks like Duke fouled Kyle Guy trying to go inside before the shot. So Duke picks up their second team foul, and Virginia has 2 fouls as a team so far. As we thank our listeners for joining us here at Behind the Arc Basketball, as Virginia will get the inbounds pass. As feel free to chat about anything college basketball in sports, and feel free to hit that subscribe button down below and like our videos. We just started out streaming play-by-play and live reaction to college basketball earlier this week. Finished up a stream earlier today where Purdue beat Indiana by 15 at home for the Purdue Boilermakers, and we're just getting started here on this stream between number 1 and number 1. Virginia, number 1 in the coaches poll, and Duke, number 1 in the AP Top 25. Left corner 3, no good by the Blue Devils. Rebounded by Jack White, though, for Duke. So now it's in the hands of RJ Barrett, setting up the offense here with 20 on the shot clock, 14:25 left. Barrett passes it out right wing to Zion. He almost lost the ball on the bounce. He controls it, though. Zion dribbling behind the arc and now trying to drive inside, and he gets the bucket to fall. Zion Williamson and a foul. Woo! Zion could have a three-point play here. Incredible job, just Zion Williamson trying to drive inside. He gets fouled in the process. Looked like it was number 33, Jack Salt, who put his hands up, interfered with his shooting arm right there, and Zion will be going to the line to see if he can complete the three-point play, and he does. So Duke's up 12-7 early here. As Virginia has the inbound. Zion, he leads the ACC in field goal percentage with 66%. 7-0 run for the Cavaliers. Virginia with the ball at the left elbow baseline, trying to drive inside. That's DeAndre Hunter. He's stripped of the ball, trying to go after it. Hunter gets it between two Duke defenders. He got trapped, but he got the ball off. Oh, beautiful behind the back bounce pass by Braxton Key back to Hunter. However, it looks like we got a foul on the play by Duke, picking up their third. Javin DeLaurier, the guilty party there. So he picks up his second foul, as looks like he heads to the bench for a seat on the bench, as both of these teams have 3 fouls as a team so far. Virginia inbounds, throws it to the back of the front court towards the left wing, and now trying to drive inside is Kyle Guy, and with the move inside, where he faked them out right and took it to the hole in the left, he got it to fall. 12-9, Duke up by 3. Trying to drive baseline inside and reversed it. Oh, he almost got it to fall. Was RJ Barrett. Kicks it back outside to Zion Williamson, who kicks it back outside to Cam Reddish. And now back to Barry, who tries to drive inside now at the baseline. Oh, he almost got that one to fall too. He gets his own offensive board, and he puts it back off the glass, and everybody's on their feet at Cameron Indoor Stadium. RJ Barrett doing it by himself, getting offensive board after offensive board, and Duke is owning that category right now. 6 offensive rebounds. Virginia has none. Virginia with the ball. Top of the key. This is DeAndre Hunter. Hunter now. Jumper at the free throw line. Oh, and it gets the friendly roll. What a shot in courtesy of the friendly roll for DeAndre Hunter. He has 5, 2 for 2 from the floor. It's 14-11 Duke. Into the hands of Zion at the top of the key. Zion off the ball screen to Cam Reddish, trying to drive inside, off the glass, and in for Cam. 16-11. As Virginia has it now at the left wing. Throws it out. This is Kihei Clark in the game, and now the ball is fed down low to the baseline to DeAndre Hunter. Hunter stepping back to the right corner. Now right elbow jumper deep 2, no good. Rebounded by Duke, going the other way. And welcome if you're joining us to this one, as Duke tried to drive inside. There was RJ Barrett. Virginia gets the rebounds. And welcome in to Behind the Arc Basketball on YouTube, and feel free to subscribe and like my videos as Virginia tries to drive to the hoop. And that was, it's Kihei Clark who tried to drive to the hoop. They'll call goaltending by Virginia, as there's a TV timeout on the floor. We'll go to a commercial break in this one, but Duke with an early lead in this game, 16-13. The Blue Devils are up by 3 with 11:49 left in the first. So Virginia has 13, Duke has 16. We're at 11. Yeah. 11:49 in the first, keeping you guys updated. Feel free to like my videos, press that big red subscribe button down below. And I'll be doing play-by-play all season long of college basketball games throughout the regular season into the conference tournaments and into March Madness. And lucky for me tonight, I got pretty great game here. Duke and Virginia, the top two teams in the nation. Number one against number one. It's like a historic number one battle here. If you have anything, feel free to talk to me in the chat. Anything about anything, college basketball. Got some great football games tomorrow as well with the NFC title game, AFC title game here. Kansas City against the Pats. Who you got? And also Saints-Rams should be a good one as we look at what's going on right now with this box score with Virginia and Duke. As anything sticking out would be the shooting percentage. Would be Duke is shooting the ball right now, 6 for 16 from the floor. Virginia's 6 for 9 right now from the floor. So Virginia hasn't taken as many shots as Duke, but the offensive rebounds have been the key for Duke. 6-0 right now, as it was shown just a couple minutes ago. And Cam Reddish doing it all himself as he missed 2 of the shots off the backboard, got both of his offensive boards, and finally on the third one, put it back. So Duke out rebounding Virginia right now 10-4 as we're almost back here to the stream. But this is the second stream today. Finished up the first one earlier on as the Indiana Hoosiers lost that one to the Purdue Boilermakers. And Purdue won by 15. That was a Big Ten game, and yeah, Indiana's in trouble now. They've lost 4 in a row in Big Ten play. As Virginia, they're the only undefeated team left, as Michigan went down earlier today, lost by 10 at Madison to Wisconsin. So this is it. Once there were 4 undefeated teams a couple weeks ago, Nevada, Houston, Michigan, Virginia. Nevada then lost to New Mexico. And then the week later, last week, Houston lost at Temple and Philly, and then Michigan losing today, and this is it. Virginia being the only undefeated team left. The last time that they've lost, well, you have to go all the way back to last year's March Madness tournament, the 16-versus-1 game. With that one, it was UMBC who stunned the nation with that game against Virginia and beat them. As it looks like we're back here on the stream. So we're almost back and going, and we got it now. So Duke with the ball as they get the inbounds. And it's RJ Barrett who has it. It's back to Jack White at the top of the key. Lots of passing here. Try to drive baseline, and he couldn't get it to fall. It's RJ Barrett, but he's fouled inside for the Blue Devils. And he'll go to the line for 2. So Duke is up right now, 16-13 with 11:38 in the first, as Cam Reddish fed the ball to the right corner outside behind the arc to RJ Barrett, who tried to dribble baseline towards the hoop, tried to slam it down, and he got fouled in the process. So he's at the line. He missed his first. As RJ Barrett shooting the ball from the line is 68.5 on the season, and he missed his second. It looks like we got a call here by the refs on it, and it looks like that didn't count. Okay, so the refs will roll off that one as Barrett will get a second shot, again, an additional one, and he hits that one. So 17-13. As Virginia is down by 4 with 11.5 left in the first. With the ball in the hands of Keehee Clark. Puts it out to Jay Huff now in the game. Back to Clark from behind the arc on the left wing. Now to the top of the key. Clark throws it inside. And a slam with a right hand. Jay Huff throws it down for Virginia, and they climb within 2. 17-15 Duke. Jay Huff has been 9 for 10 from the floor shooting during his last 3 games, as that shot goes down for Duke from behind the arc. RJ Barrett hits that one for the Blue Devils. They're 2 for 7 right now from three-point range. It's 20-15. As it's Virginia with the ball now to the left wing. This is Ty Jerome dribbling baseline and kicks it back out. Thought about the three. Oh, and the slam is Jay Huff, who faked out everybody, thinking that he'd take a three, and then he went inside and slammed it down with the right hand. It's 20-17. Duke up by 3. Duke with the ball at the right wing. And now to the top of the key. This is RJ Barrett, who dribbles out, guarded by DeAndre Hunter. Barrett now dribbling, throws it cross court to the right side. With 5 on the shot clock, trying to go in was Cam Reddish, and he gets rejected. And Duke will inbound the ball with 3 seconds on the shot clock as the ball gets swatted out of bounds. Yeah, that was filthy. Number 30 for Virginia, that's Jay Huff. He just went soaring through the air. Right there, it goes with his right hand and slams it down. Now the shot from the baseline before the shot clock expires could not go down, and it'll be a turnover by Duke going back to Virginia. So we got some subs in the game here for the Blue Devils. Definitely, they have to. Duke, I would guess, would definitely be missing Trey Jones in this one, as he's on the bench right now. They sure would need him, as we're back to action on the inbounds pass with Virginia. This is Keehee Clark, who passes it off right there, and that pass is just too wide for Ty Jerome, and it goes out of bounds, and it's a turnover for the Cavaliers with 9:53 left in the first. Duke will have the ball now past the timeline as Barrett with it back to Zion. Zion trying to take it inside. Zion with a spin move inside. Oh, he gets rejected. That was a nasty swat there by Virginia as Zion tried to lay it in off the glass inside the paint and with a spin move. And yeah, that was number 30 again, the guy who just went soaring for the slam dunk a couple minutes ago, Jack Huff. Just swatted away Zion as it's a turnover in the hands of Virginia, but then they go up towards the court driving. They turn it over to Duke. Zion with the ball now at the left wing. With it, Duke with the ball, hands it off to Cam Reddish, who turns it over, trying to dribble, and Virginia has it now as Duke just turned it over for the second time today. Virginia has 3 turnovers. With the ball is Keehee Clark, who gets it out to Jay Huff. And now at the left part of the court, Ty Jerome with it is now dribbling in and couldn't finish was Keehee Clark. He had a wide open basket to lay it in, and just too strong off the glass. Oh my goodness! Zion slams it down with authority. Past the defender in the student section. Loves it as Zion Williamson with a one-of-a-kind jam. Oh my goodness, off the Keehee Clark miss. Zion Williamson just throws down the incredible tomahawk dunk over the top by Jay Huff. Unbelievable. And that's why he's going to show you that he's a number 1 draft pick right there. Zion just threw that one over the top, and oh man, the Duke bench is loving it. The Cameron Crazies are loving it. Zion has 7 right now. 2 for 5 from the floor, 2 boards, and he got fouled on that tomahawk dunk too. He's at the line. 22-17 Duke. Zion couldn't get that one. Ball rolled off the rim. Rebounded by Virginia. We got ourselves 8:55 left in the first. The fans are loving it in Durham. As Virginia has the ball around the perimeter. It's Ty Jerome with it. Throws it to DeAndre Hunter. Now at the left wing, it's Keehee Clark. Clark with the ball for the Cavaliers. Guarded by Zion. Throws the ball inside towards the deep elbow 2, and he hits it. DeAndre Hunter gets that shot to fall. It's 22-19 Virginia. Hunter has 7 points so far. As Duke has the ball, it's into the hands of Zion. Zion now dribbling at the top of the key, trying to go inside, and he puts it off the glass. It's Zion Williamson, showing you why he's going to be a top NBA recruit come June. 9 points so far. Duke up 24-19. So Virginia has the ball back. Top of the key three, and it goes down for Virginia. It's Kyle Guy. Swoosh on that one, 24-21. Virginia cuts the lead to 3. 7:45 left in the first. Lots of scoring so far. Virginia has 5 fouls as a team. Duke has 3. Zion at the free throw line dumps it off behind the arc at the top of the key. Back to Zion. Zion inside the key. The jumper goes, and he's fouled. And he'll go to the line for 1 to see if he can complete a 3-point play here at Cameron Indoor Stadium. And we got ourselves a TV timeout as Zion Williamson's being dapped up next to his Duke bench. What a game we got in store here. The Duke Blue Devils up 26-21 with 7:33 left in the first. As you're watching Behind the Arc Basketball on YouTube, feel free to like my video and make sure to hit that big red subscribe button down below, and feel free to react with me, interact with me in the chats as well if you like. And we got ourselves a great game. Number 1 versus number 1 battle. I'm just going to put here in the chat. So we got ourselves 21-26. And 7:33 left in the first. This is incredible. Just Zion's tomahawk dunk. That was just insane. He just threw it down past the Virginia defender. Who was that he threw it down earlier? I think it was number 33, the center for Virginia, Jack Salt. He just threw that down with authority. Everybody loved it at Cameron Indoor Stadium. That was just incredible. All right, so we're going to dig into some of these team stats right now as, wow, there's a huge difference in shooting percentage for both teams coming in, as Virginia and Duke have made 10 shots so far shooting-wise. Duke has been shooting the ball 43.5% compared to Virginia's 71.4% from the field. So totally different, as Duke is shooting right now 10 for 23, Virginia's 10 for 14. But other than that, from behind the arc, Duke is 2 for 7, Virginia's 1 for 3 from behind the arc. But free throws is where Duke has gotten the best of you at, as Duke's 4 for 6 right now from the line. Virginia's 1 for 2. And then we get into the rebounding game. Yeah, Duke is just absolutely crushing Virginia in that phase as well. 13-6. Duke is winning in the rebounding game. And, yeah, the offensive boards, Duke is owning that category right now too. 8-0 so far in this one, as we're almost back after the TV time out here at Cameron Indoor Stadium. Still on commercial here on the stream. Let's see what the box score is like for the leading scorers. So leading scorer for Duke, of course, Zion Williamson has 11 right now. He's 4 for 7 from the field. He's also got 2 rebounds. And then Cam Reddish is second on the team right now in points for this game. He has 7 points right now. As for Virginia, the top scorers, it's a tie between Guy and Hunter. Kyle Guy right now with 7. Hunter with 7 as well. As we're almost back here, but they're showing that replay on the screen right now as we're getting back to action here. The tomahawk Duke dunk for Zion Williamson, just insane over Jack White of Virginia. Now we got Zion at the line, as the last play he tried to drive inside, and then he got the bucket to fall, and then he just completed the and one. So it's a 3-point play by Duke right there. And Zion gets his 12th point of the game. So Virginia down by 5 with 7:22 left in the first. Left corner 3, and it's off the top of the rim. No good. Battled for, and it was battled for by DeAndre Hunter and Zion, but Zion was out of bounds as he tried to get it. So the ball will go back on the inbound pass to Virginia. 7:18 left in the first. Virginia with the inbounds. It's Mamadi Diakate with it, and now he gets it off to Ty Jerome, who has it. Hits the Tried to hit the jumper off the free throw line. Couldn't get it. Rebounded by Duke. As Cam Reddish into the hands of Barrett. Barrett at the top of the key. This is Barrett. Throws it out to the right wing. This is Jack White with it. And tries to lob it over the top. Zion. And he controls it before it goes out of bounds. A left wing three. No good by Barrett. And the ball goes out of bounds. And they say last touched by Duke. So Virginia will get the ball. So we see the shooting graphic on the screen. Duke is 10 for 24 shooting the ball right now. Virginia is 10 for 16 as we're back here on the inbounds. Only one offensive board for the Cavaliers. 8 offensive rebounds by Duke. So Duke leading that category pretty much big time as trying to drive inside was Jack Salt. He gets fouled on the play, so he'll go to the line for 2 for Virginia. So Jack Salt there might have been DeAndre Hunter here, number 12. We'll see when he gets to the line. So Duke's up 27 to 22 with 6.5 left in this one. So yeah, it looks like it was before the shot. So yeah, that's what the refs rule. So it looks like it was before the shot that the foul took place, and they're not in the bonus just yet. So Virginia would just inbounds pass it. Tried to go low for the inbounds. Looks like there's another foul on Duke. So Duke picks up their 6th foul right there as the inbounds pass was tossed in low underneath the hoop. And not yet in the bonus. They need one more to the bonus. So Virginia will inbound it once again. Both teams have 16 fouls so far as this ball now is at the left wing by Keke Clark. Keke Clark trying to drive inside with a burst of speed. Leaving it open at the free throw line. And the three-pointer rimmed out by Virginia and rebounded by Duke. Going up the other way is Cam Reddish with it. Cam Reddish trying to drive inside and couldn't get the first one. And the next one, he couldn't get the fall. Virginia on the fast break. Kicks it out as the 3 ball cannot go to open 3 and rebounded by Duke as the ball was covered up by Cam Reddish as Virginia had their chance to go on the fast break but couldn't get it there in time. Kicked it back outside for the open 3. Couldn't get it there. And Duke got the rebound. Now Duke has his Marquise Bolden, who hands it off to Zion. Zion at the top of the key. Zion dribbling now, trying to back his way into the low post and kicks it back outside. RJ Barrett now going into the low post, and he is fouled. And he'll go to the line for 2. As Barrett tried to back his way inside, looks like the foul is called on by Jack Salt of Virginia. Will be charged for that one inside. Here's the first one. He hits it. It's RJ Barrett from the line. He's a 68.5 free throw shooter on the season. He had a season high 32 points versus Florida State last Saturday. So 28-22, Duke up by 6 with 5:33 left, and he hits another one to add to that. As Virginia inbounds it, it's Ty Jerome with the ball now past the timeline for the Cavaliers. Gives it off to Jack Salt at the top of the key, moving to his left. And now he finds it off to Kyle Guy, who passes it off to Braxton Key now in the game, passing around the perimeter, trying to drive baseline, and a slam with authority right there. Oh, goodness, it's DeAndre Hunter throwing it down with the 2 hands for Virginia. 29-24, Duke up by 5. DeAndre Hunter for the Cavaliers has 9. The ball in the hands now of Cam Reddish, who hands it off to RJ Barrett. RJ Barrett in the paint off the backboard and in for Barrett. 31-24 now. Duke up by 7. Virginia now with the ball. Passing around the perimeter at the top of the key to the left wing. And now trying to drive inside. Nice maneuver behind the defense. In between DeAndre Hunter again. Gets it off the glass and in. It's 31-26. Hunter has 11. Hunter averages 14.4 points per game. The ball's in the hands of Zion at the top of the key for Duke. Zion now trying to back his way inside. Oh, it's stripped by Virginia, and it's going the other way. 2-on-2 here. And past the defense and laying it up and in is Ty Jerome for the Cavaliers to cut this to a 3-point game. Duke up 31-28, 4:04 left in the first. Now slowing down the tempo is R.J. Barrett. Into the hands of Marquise Bolden. Hands it off to Barrett. He's double teamed but breaks the double team. Barrett now trying to drive inside in the paint. Too easy inside the key. And he just goes up and swooshes that one in easily. 33-28. As Virginia has it, it's Jacksaw at the top of the key and passes it off to Kyle Guy. And now Virginia moving the ball around the perimeter. Top of the key 3 and no good. Duke tried to go for the rebound and couldn't get it. That was Cam Reddish who tried to rebound that one. And the ball goes out of bounds. So Virginia, when we get back, will have the inbounds pass to them. But what a good one so far. Slamming it down with authority. What we just saw, DeAndre Hunter. He has the last 2 baskets for Virginia. They're trying to climb back up in this one. They're down 33-28. It's a 1-versus-1 battle here. As you're watching Behind the Arc Basketball on YouTube. And remember to like the video. Feel free to subscribe as well. And if you'd like, you can interact with me in the chat. Feel free to do all those things, as we'll be back after the commercial break here, and I'll update you guys on all the stats in between the breaks. So, Virginia. $28. Duke 33. And we got ourselves 3:26 left in the first. That's posted. See what else we got. Okay, leading scorers right now for both of the teams. DeAndre Hunter, he has the past 2 baskets as well for Virginia. So he leads the Cavaliers, and he has 11 points right now, leading the team for today's game so far. Let's see for Duke, who has it. Okay, Zion was up ahead in points earlier. He was the top in points earlier, but R.J. Barrett has tied him, his teammate. So both of those guys for Duke have 12. Cam Reddish has 7. R.J. Barrett is 4 for 10 shooting. Zion is 4 for 7. And from the free throw line, Zion is 4 for 5. R.J. Barrett is 3 for 4. Anything sticking out right now that I could see would be maybe the rebounds. Cam Reddish has 6 rebounds for Duke. Let's see what else we got here in the stats. Free throw percentage. Yeah, Duke's converting on 77.8% from the line. They're 7 for 9 right now on free throws. Virginia's only attempted 2. They're 1 for 2 from 3-point range. Virginia hasn't got much to go. 1 for 7. Duke's 2 for 8. Virginia is shooting the ball well, though. 59% right now. Duke is 44% shooting the ball. What else is the rebounds? Oh, it's not as bad as I thought. Yeah, Duke out-rebounding Virginia now 16-10. Offensive rebounds, it's 8-2. Duke beating Virginia in that category. Earlier, it was Duke was up in the rebound category 8-0. As looks like we're back on the stream. And welcome in, everybody, to Behind the Arc Basketball on YouTube. feel free to like the videos, subscribe to my channel, and also interact with me in the chat if you'd like, as we're back here at Cameron Indoor Stadium on the stream as I'm doing play-by-play and live reactions of this one. Trying to do the spin move inside will be DeAndre Hunter. Virginia gets the ball back and they kick it back outside and now try to drive inside. Alley-oop and lay it up and in. It goes for Virginia, so it's 33-30. Looks like that was number 25, Mamadi Diakite, who got the alley-oop pass right in front of the basket and put it in. So now Zion with the ball, trying to drive in the lane, spin move, and Zion missed it off the front rim, couldn't get the friendly roll. 33-30, Virginia with a rebound. And now trying to drive inside is Ty Jerome, kicks it back outside. Now passing around the right corner of it is DeAndre Hunter with the ball, now passes it to the top of the key and dribbling towards the back of the front court, towards the corners, Ty Jerome. Ty Jerome now with the ball, goes from behind the arc to drive the dribble inside, puts up a jumper, and he's short of the rim, and it's rebounded by Duke. Going up the other way, past the timeline is R.J. Barrett. Throws it off to Zion. Zion trying to back his way inside, and he slips on his back, and it's turnover. Virginia has it, and the left-hand layup on the fast break goes in. Kyle Guy gets it to fall. Virginia draws within one. Zion right there, try to take it in the lane, try to back his way in the lane, and he slipped on his back and gave up the ball. And Virginia in transition on the outlet pass, and Kyle Guy took advantage of that on a one-on-one breakaway. Laid it up and in with a left hand. We got ourselves a timeout here called by Coach K, as we got a good one. The undefeated Virginia Cavaliers up against the Duke Blue Devils. It's Duke 33, Virginia 32 with 2 minutes and 3 seconds before halftime. So it looks like Virginia's on a little bit of a scoring run here, trying to take the lead back. They haven't done that, I don't think, since they started out with a 2-0 lead. Now we got the inbounds passes. We're back into the game as Zion and Barrett have 12 points. They're the leading scorers right now for Duke. We're back at it. Duke has the ball now at the right corner behind the arc and throws it back to the top of the key. Is R.J. Barrett taking the three, and he's short of the rim. No good. Rimmed out. Virginia has it. Off the rebound. Now taking it up the timeline. This is Ty Jerome with the ball for the Cavaliers. Towards the Coach K court sign on the right side of the wing, and now passing around the outside. Kyle Guy, who feeds it off to the left baseline behind the arc and trying to drive baselines. DeAndre Hunter kicks it back top of the key three off the top rim and rebounded by Marquise Bolden of Duke, going the other way. This is Barrett. Throws it out to Cam Reddish. Cam Reddish at the top of the key. Lays it in for Barrett. Barrett trying to drive inside the paint. Can't get it. However, he gets his own ball back in. The three ball by Jack White. No good. Zion trying to lay it in, and he does. Off the glass right there for Zion Williamson, and he's fouled as well. So he'll go back to the line to see if he can complete another three-point play here. Zion just using his strength right now. Rebounding over the top right there. Past Kyle Guy. Okay, so they didn't call a foul on Virginia, so it's just one. Just a basket that you got. So we got the 2 points. Didn't go to the line. 4-1. Now we're back as Virginia has it down by 3. 38 seconds left. The pass inside. Stolen. Going the other way in transition. Cam Reddish on the fast break and gets it in, but they got it in. They didn't call the offensive foul right there on the charge, so count the bucket for Duke. 37-32. Virginia with 18 seconds left, down by 5. Into the hands of Ty Jerome right now towards the edge of the Duke logo, dribbling with 10 seconds left. Trying to call the final play before the half is Ty Jerome with 6. Jerome way back trying to do something with it. Jerome's going to take it inside himself, and looks like we got a foul called with 2.6 seconds on Duke. So at the line, Ty Jerome, and it rims out. No good, and Duke will get the rebound, and that's the end of the half, as Duke could not get the shot off before the buzzer didn't go in anyway, so that's it at the half. Duke 37, Virginia 32, as the 37 points is the most scored on that Virginia has allowed. So Duke, going into the half with those 37 points, Virginia has yet to give up 37 points or more this season. That's been the most that an opponent has scored on against Virginia's. Now the teams hit the tunnel for the halftime, and I'll go through the box scores of what's been going on today in college basketball. Feel free to like and subscribe to my channel, as well as you're watching Behind the Arc Basketball on YouTube. As I'll update you right now as we're at the half. So the 1-against-1 game, number 1 in the coaches poll against number 1 in the top 25, and it's definitely deserving that the game has been like that so far, as Virginia got out to a 2-0 lead. I think that's the only time that they've led in the game. Duke's just taking control. Some of the key moments of the first half, it was definitely that tomahawk dunk that Zion just threw down, that like everybody's gonna absolutely love. That was insane. That was just like highlight reel Sports Center dunk right there over the center for Virginia. Jack saw it. He just tomahawked right over him, and that was on like a fast break transition off like a stolen ball or something. That was just insane. So we look at the halftime leading scorers for both teams. We'll do Duke first, as there's 2 tied for the leading top scorers right now in the first half, both with 14 already. Is RJ Barrett with 14 for the Blue Devils, and Zion also has 14 for the Blue Devils as well, doing much better than last Saturday's game against Florida State, as he suffered that eye injury trying to drive inside, as he was scratched on his eye, and then he got stripped in the lane of the ball, fell on his right shoulder, and he was seeing double vision and had to go inside to the tunnel. But Zion in that game, he had 3 turnovers in I think the first 12 minutes in the first half. He only played the first 12 minutes or so against Florida State last week in that first half. But yeah, Zion is 14 points right now. Barrett with 14 at the half. The top scorers for Virginia at halftime would be DeAndre Hunter. He has 11. He had 2 back-to-back dunks, just throwing it down. And then looks like Kyle Guy, the point guard for Virginia, has 9 points. So he's second on the team right now in scoring. As we look at the stats at the half, Virginia shooting the ball fairly well right now, 57.7% from the floor. They haven't taken as many shots as Duke, as Virginia is shooting 15 for 26 from the floor. Duke is shooting 14 for 32. With 43.8% conversion on their shots from behind the arc, Duke is 2 for 10, and Virginia is 1 for 8. And thank you so much for the like up there, and everybody out there listening in and watching my video. As you're watching Behind the Arc Basketball on YouTube, feel free to chat during the breaks or anytime during the game. Lots of big games in college basketball today, and feel free to chat about anything if you like, as we're at the halftime report right now. Duke is out rebounding Virginia so far as we go into the half, 20-12. the offensive boards is really where Duke has been owning the game so far, out rebounding on the offensive boards 9-2 so far in this one. As far as turnovers, both of the teams are even so far, 4-4. Total assists, it's actually with Trey Jones's injury and Jones not playing today, it's been Virginia in control of this one so far in this game in the assist column, as it's 4 assists to 2 assists. As we'll see what else we got. We're looking at the halftime report here in ACC action. We had a couple of games go down today in the ACC. That Wake Forest against Virginia Tech. Looks like Virginia Tech pulled off that one, 87-51. And Louisville just keeps on rolling after they beat North Carolina last Saturday. It's the Louisville Cardinals. They keep on rolling as they demolished Georgia Tech again today in ACC play. They were up at the half, 43-16 in that one. They went on to win 79-51. As we look at other games in ACC play, North Carolina takes on Virginia Tech, and that game will be on Monday. I think it's 7 p.m. Monday at 7 p.m. North Carolina and Virginia Tech. North Carolina beat Miami today, 85-76. North Carolina State won a close one against Notre Dame. In that one, C.J. Bryce had 23 points for the Wolfpack in the 77-73 win. Syracuse and the Orange Men, they keep on rolling as well. They beat Duke in overtime on Monday, and the Orange were back at home today in Syracuse at the Carrier Dome, and they win another one as they're pulling themselves off the bubble and back into that NCAA tournament projection inside the field of 64s. They've got some big wins this week. The one against Duke without Trey Jones, and they beat Pittsburgh today 74-63. And then this one, of course, we'll get to back at the half is Duke and Virginia 37-32. Duke's up right now at the half, and a historic game it is for both of these teams, as the Virginia Cavaliers coming in with an undefeated record on the season. As we get you at this halftime report, thank you all for joining in right now as we're at halftime, 37-32, Duke up against Virginia. As you're watching Behind the Arc Basketball on YouTube, and thank you all for tuning in. Feel free to chat with me and interact with me throughout the game. We can talk about basketball. Got some big NFL games tomorrow as well. NFC Championship, AFC Championship should be a good one. Saints, Rams, Pats, Chiefs. Not as cold as I expected. What people were talking about for Kansas City. They were like, yeah, -10 wind chill, but now the snowstorms come over here up towards like the northeast or so where I'm at. So it's supposed to be like a deep freeze Sunday into Monday, I believe, up towards like the northeast or so. But Kansas City already got the worst of it, I believe. So they should be in much better shape than what people were thinking about earlier in the week, like talking about on Monday, like -5, -10 degree temperatures. I think it's going to be like 28 tomorrow in Kansas City. So it's going to be like the Pats Chargers game at Gillette last week, where it was like 26 degrees over there. We're at halftime right now, and feel free to like my videos, and don't forget to hit that big red subscribe button down below, as well as throughout this college basketball season, I'll be doing a bunch of play-by-play and live reactions of games throughout the season and into the conference tournaments, and then, of course, into the March Madness tournaments. As I got pretty good schedule next week, as I should be, unless we lose power here, but I'm planning to do the North Carolina Virginia Tech game on Monday. But we don't know because the snowstorms are supposed to be rolling in tonight. So that's another game that might be focusing on Monday, depending if I do have power. But feel free to let us know how you made out with a snowstorm if you're around like the Midwest, East Coast or so, as the snow is just rolling along the Northeast right now towards this area, and we're supposed to be getting the brink of it later on as we're at halftime between Virginia and Duke. As we go back to top 25 action, I'll go into the scoreboard of what happened earlier today as the teams played in the top 25. Okay, that one's final. Kentucky ranked 12th in the nation against Auburn, ranked 14th, and looks like that battle for the SEC is done as Kentucky pulls out the nail biter, 82-80 in Auburn. Michigan lost their first game of the season, which leads Virginia to be the only undefeated team left, as the Wolverines lost by 10 in Madison earlier today. So we look at the scoreboard to other games. Tennessee was up 44-32 at the half against Alabama. Tennessee won that game 71-68. They closed out a nail biter. John Petty of the Crimson Tide dropped down 30 for Alabama today, but the comeback was too short. However, Big 12 action. West Virginia pulling out the upset. Kansas has played teams close throughout the entire season. They won a close game against Texas earlier in the week on Monday, but this one they couldn't pull out. They traveled to Morgantown, and West Virginia pulled off the W there, 65-54. Other games in the top 25 to look after. I streamed it earlier, the Purdue-Indiana game. Indiana's in trouble right now as Indiana's lost 4 games in a row, as they dropped that game by 15 points to Purdue, 70-55 earlier today. Other top 25 games going on right now. Oh, wow. So Texas Tech lost this week, their second game of the season, to Iowa State. Number 8 ranked Texas Tech, and the Red Raiders, they're down in Waco at the half, 33-31. Other top 25 games going on later tonight. There's a bunch of them. Number 20, Oklahoma, is at Austin against the Texas Longhorns. Texas right now on the bubble. They couldn't survive that close game against Kansas back on Monday. They're trying to upset Oklahoma. Oklahoma coming off against a close loss to Kansas State. Kansas State's led by Barry Brown, who's been dropping incredible points and leading his team to whole new levels for the Kansas State Wildcats, as Barry Brown and Kansas State completed a 21-point comeback last week and beat West Virginia. And then Brown got the game-winning shot at the buzzer against Iowa State last Saturday. If we look at other teams in the top 25, the Houston Cougars playing tonight against the South Florida Bulls, and that one will be at 8 o'clock. Tonight, 8:30, has got Mississippi State, number 24 ranked, going up against Vanderbilt. And that one's at Tennessee, at Nashville. And then there's the late night West Coast games. You have number 5 Gonzaga Bulldogs, which they rank just ahead of the Duke Blue Devils in average points per game scoring. I think they're around like 93 or 91 for their average. I think the top team's the Citadel for like a 93 average points per game. But Gonzaga is going up tonight, late night game there for a start, 10 p.m. Eastern time, as they travel to Portland, Oregon to play the Portland Pilots. And then the last late game of the top 25 teams, number 10, the Nevada Wolfpack, playing against Air Force in the Mountain West. So we're almost back to this game, as we're still at halftime right now. Looking forward to the second half to see what happens. Virginia has yet to lose a game this season. The last time that Virginia has lost, you have to go all the way back to March 16th of 2018. And that was the first time that a 1 seed ever lost to a 16 seed inside the March Madness tournament, as UMBC pulled off the miracle, and wasn't even close that game either. It was done at the half as UMBC beat Virginia that game 74-54. That marked the first time ever that a 16 beat a 1. There's been 15 seeds before that have beaten a 2, but never a 16 has beat a 1 until March 16th of last year. And it happened in the hands of the Virginia Cavaliers, who came into the game with a record of 32-2. And they got upset in that game. I think UMBC plays in the America East Conference, I think. They play in the conference with, I think it's Vermont who's in that conference, with New Hampshire and UMass Lowell in that conference as well. So, yeah, that was a huge stunner as well. I think the big highlight from the first half, as the stream is back on here as we're getting back to go back to action in about a minute or so from Duke University at the Cameron Indoor Stadium. The big highlight would be Zion Williamson, probably and most likely a top 3 NBA draft pick with his skill set. It's just incredible what he can do with that, like, what is it, a 45-inch vertical jump. The most ever in Duke history. It's incredible what Zion did in the first half. 14 points. He had this tomahawk dunk that he threw down that's gonna make the highlight reel for that. And he's having a game so far today, as the fans out here are loving it. We're almost back to action at Cameron Indoor Stadium in Durham. And don't miss out on the second half of this one. And now we're back. Virginia gets the inbounds pass. And the ball's thrown to the free throw line, and looks like it's in the hands of Jack Saul. He tried to alley-oop it up top, and no good. Is it thrown out of bounds to Mamadi Diakite. And Virginia turns it over on their first possession of the second half. 19:45 left in the second as Duke has their first strike with the ball. And now it's Zion at the right elbow and dribbles back outside in the hands of R.J. Barrett, now at the free throw line. Barrett trying to dribble inside and now into the key. Now they're passing it around the perimeter. Back to Barrett. Left corner 3 is no good. Zion tried to get the offensive board, but he stepped out of bounds, and Virginia will get the ball. 19:22 left in the second. Duke up by 5 as we're just getting back into the second half of play in this one. Virginia now with their second possession. This is Kyle Guy with it, passing it off to Mamadi Diakite. Ty Jerome now with the ball, passes it inside as Diakite trying to back inside the key. Diakite couldn't get it to roll, tapped out, and back to Guy. So offensive board for Virginia, trying to drive inside, and the right hand lays it up and in as DeAndre Hunter. 37-34, Virginia strikes first again in the half. So they started out with the first half leading 2-0, and the second half they're up right now 2-0. Duke with the ball around the perimeter, around the right side, now dribbling, step back toward the 2-point mark right there at the free throw line, and couldn't hit it as Virginia gets the rebound for the Cavaliers now. This is Ty Jerome with the ball, passes it off to Mamadi Diakite. Now back to Kyle Guy. Kyle Guy throws it right corner 3, and it's short as it hits the corner of the backboard, and Zion hands it off right there. 3 ball, no good for Duke from the top of the key, and the rebound back to Kyle Guy of Virginia. Virginia past the timeline now with Ty Jerome at the left side behind the arc. Jerome feeds it inside to Diakite. Diakite at the elbow trying to back himself inside in the low post. Diakite, no, can't get it to fall off the glass. And it's rebounded by Duke. RJ Barrett with the ball trying to go in the lane, spins in the lane, loses control of it. But it looks like it was last touched by the Cavaliers. So Duke will get the ball back. If you're just tuning in, the score of this one is Duke 37, Virginia 34. So RJ Barrett lost control of that one. Looks like he was fouled in the lane as well. Shooting foul called by Virginia. Barrett just missed his first from the line. The 6'7" freshman, RJ Barrett, for his second. Cannot get that one to roll off the front of the rim, off the back of the rim, and bounce to the left of the rim into the hands of a Cavalier. Now Virginia has the ball past the timeline. It's Ty Jerome with it. Jerome passes it off to Guy. Guy now, and they get a lot of perimeter passing from right to left now to the free throw line. So Jack Salt hands it off to DeAndre Hunter, backing out at the right wing. Hunter now trying to dribble baseline. He's stolen the ball. Going the other way now for Duke. This is Cam Reddish. Past the timeline. Throws it up to RJ Barrett with the left hand and lays it off the glass and in for Duke. 39-34 with 17 minutes left. They call him the Maple Mamba. Is RJ Barrett. He puts that one off the glass with a left-hand layup. Virginia has the ball back again. It's Kyle Guy past the timeline to the right corner. And now back inside to the right corner again. And now trying to back his way inside. Gets the friendly roll is Jack Salt. 39-36. Both of the teams have been getting shots to fall past the timeline for Duke now. With the ball is RJ Barrett. Barrett guarded by Hunter. Passes it off to Zion. Zion now trying to work his way inside. Zion with a right hand, and he gets it. And the foul for Zion Williamson. Zion just going past DeAndre Hunter. Lays it up in the right hand. Gets the... Or no, so he didn't. Looked like from that angle that he laid it up and in, and it went off, but he got fouled on it. So he'll go to the line for two, and he misses the first. So it's 39-36 still. Thought from that camera angle that they showed us that he laid it up and in. Didn't go through the net, though. From that camera angle, they're showing us from that camera angle. So didn't go in. Here's the second free throw. He hits it. So Zion 1 for 2 from the line for that. 40-36. Virginia down by 4. Past the timeline for the Cavaliers. DeAndre Hunter with the ball. Throws it off. Outside and now in the key and throws it back outside. Passing outside. Open three from the right wing and it goes down for Ty Jerome, the point guard. Who gets that one? Virginia pulls within one. Virginia just hit their second three-pointer of the game. Zion with the ball at the top of the key, and now he's trying to dribble inside. He takes it back outside towards the right part of the court. RJ Barrett has the ball in his hands now at the top of the key. RJ Barrett throws it to the left corner, now trying to dribble with it. Jack White throws down the slam dunk for Duke. 42-39 as the fans are loving it here in Durham. Jack White gets his fourth point of the game. He just throws that down with authority with two hands. Slam right there. 15-23 left in the second. Virginia now has it. At the Duke logo, calling up the play is Ty Jerome now. Dribbling from the top of the key, trying to go inside with a burst of speed in the lane. Gets it to fall with the right hand. And it's 42-41. Ty Jerome has 9. Duke with the ball. Jack White, who had the slam on the last possession. He throws the ball off to Zion. Top of the key 3. No good for Cam Reddish and rebounded by the Cavaliers. Kyle Guy now with it. Guy dribbling from behind the arc. So he passes it off on the dribble. Bounce pass to DeAndre Hunter. And now trying to back his way inside is no good. by Jack Salt, but he gets fouled on the play, and he'll be going to the line for 2. We got ourselves a TV commercial timeout here, and a close one, as the second half just got underway. 14:35 left. Duke 42, Virginia 41. A 1-point game. ACC play. Nothing better than this right now. So 14:35 left in the second. 41-42. Let's get you updated on some of these stats right now. And if you're just tuning in for the first time, feel free to like my videos, subscribe to my channel as well, and interact with me in the chat. We have 14:35 left in the second, and what a great game we've had so far. And this one, Virginia trying to climb back, and they've done so as they're down by 1 right now to the Duke Blue Devils in this historic 1-against-1 matchup. We'll look at some of the team stats. Duke still out-rebounding Virginia 22-18. So look at the other stats. Virginia's shooting the ball pretty well. 57.6 shooting percentage right now. However, from behind the arc there, 2 for 10. Duke's 2 for 13. Duke is shooting the ball 42.1% from the field. So we look at who's the leading scorer for both teams. You have to give kudos to DeAndre Hunter of Virginia. He has 13 points, the leading scorer right now for the Cavaliers. On the other side, the Duke Blue Devils, R.J. Barrett and Zion accounting for 31 points combined. R.J. has 16, 6 for 4 shooting the ball. Zion has 15 points. He's 5 for 9 right now from the field. The leading rebounder for Duke is Cam Reddish. He has 7 points, but he has 6 boards. Leading rebounder for Virginia will be Kyle Guy. He has 5 rebounds. And let's see what else we got here. Turnover department in that stat. Yeah, Virginia has turned the ball over 6 times. Duke's turned the ball over 4 times. So not a lot of turnovers so far in this game at all. I remember there was a game a couple weeks ago where it was Penn State against Michigan, and the point guard for Penn State, and that one turned over the ball. I think alone he turned the ball over 7 times. That's not how you get the job done in the basketball game. Ball security is a must. This game, 14:35 left in the second, as we're almost back on the stream here. Zion Williamson playing a key part once again, leading this Duke team, trying to get them on another winning streak, as they've lost 1 game in a row. That game came to Syracuse when their star point guard, Trey Jones, went down with an injury in that game, trying to go after a loose ball. He's out for today. Now we're back to the game. Virginia with an inbounds pass. As they're throwing the ball around the perimeter here, this is into the hands of Ty Jerome, the point guard for Virginia, with the ball dribbling to his right behind the 3-point line, now at the top of the key. And now Jerome trying to drive inside, and it looks like he was fouled on Duke on the play. Duke picks up their second team foul. Virginia has 2. Virginia is down by 1 with 14:17 left. So the Cavaliers will inbound. It's DeAndre Hunter with the ball. Passes it to Ty Jerome. The point guard has it for the Cavaliers. And now it's Jay Huff who has it, who goes inside, tried to throw the ball inside to his teammate Braxton Key, and he gets fouled, and he'll go to the line for 2 for Virginia. So the first one by Braxton Key hits. Braxton Key is 77.4% from the free throw line this season. He had a second as well. And look at that, Virginia takes the lead. So 43-42, their first lead for Virginia since it was a 7-5 game as Zion throws down a one-handed slam. Woo! But they'll call a foul before he threw down the slam, so the bucket doesn't count, 43-42. But yeah, that was still impressive by Zion. Ball goes back to R.J. Barrett. Ooh, he lays it in, and it's a lead change once again. So Virginia, who had their first lead since the game was 7-5, took control of the 42-43 lead, and Duke just scored the bucket inside. And it's 44-43 as Duke's back in control. Ball at the left wing now. Moving the ball around to the top of the key and now to the right wing is Ty Jerome with it, trying to drive inside with his left hand, and he gets it to fall. Friendly roll right there off the backboard in a hoop, and it goes in. 45-44. Duke going up the other way of the court, and Zion lays it in. Moving the ball fast is what Duke has done, and they just did it there, going up the court in real-time speed. 46-45, Blue Devils up by 1. Virginia has it, tried to feed the ball inside. Looks like it's swatted out of bounds with 12:56 left to go in the second. Duke can push the ball up the court. Zion going past two defenders and laying it home off the glass with the left hand right before that. So Barrett and Williamson combined of 35 points for Duke. The rest of the team has 11 right now. Virginia gets the inbounds pass. Down by 1 for the Cavaliers. It's Keehee Clark with the ball coming off the bench. Passes it off to... That was Hunter with the ball. Feeds it inside, and that goes down for Virginia. Braxton Key gets it off the backboard, up and in to take the 47-46 lead. Duke past the timeline with the ball now. R.J. Barrett hands it off to Zion. Zion at the top of the key and try to drive inside. Reverse the hand. He gets it off the glass and in, and a foul. So he got himself a 3-point play for Zion right here as he cross dribbles in between past the Virginia defender and lays it off the glass. He gets fouled as well on the play as Duke retakes the lead. And thank you, everybody, for tuning in to Behind the Arc Basketball on YouTube. Feel free to like my videos, and feel free to also press that big red subscribe button down below. We'll be doing college basketball play-by-play and live reactions all season long of different teams. All the major conference teams are the first priority, and then we'll be doing it throughout the regular season, all the way into the conference tournaments, and of course, the March Madness tournament. Zion from the line just missed that free throw as it rimmed right out. 48-47 as the ball rimmed out on the free throw by Zion, went out of bounds as Virginia gets the ball back on the inbounds. Past the timeline's Keehee Clark. Now passing around the left side of the perimeter, dribbling to the right side of the perimeter. Now Keehee Clark has it. At the right wing is Keehee Clark. Throws the ball out to the guy next to him. It's Kyle Guy who tries to drive baseline. Gets it in. Lays it up and in underneath the hoop. And Virginia has the lead back 49-48. 11:56 left. Duke with the ball. Zion in the left wing. And now he's trying to drive inside. Zion can't put it home. Rebounded by Virginia. And it's Jay Huff who gets the defensive board for the Cavaliers. Virginia up 49-48 with 11:40 left. The ball into the hands of Kyle Guy at the right wing, driving and throwing it all the way to the left wing, and tried to go inside with it was Keehee Clark as he tried to feed it inside, and Duke swatted it away out of bounds. So Virginia will get the ball back as we got ourselves a packed house on the stream. Seeing all these fans right now at Cameron Indoor Stadium in Durham, North Carolina, as their #1 Duke Blue Devils going up against the Virginia Cavaliers, and what a game. we've had so far. Virginia just took back the lead. It's 49-48 as we got ourselves a TV timeout. I'll update you guys here on the chat of the score. Thank you all for watching my videos, play-by-play, live reactions throughout the college basketball season and into the March Madness tournament. Feel free to hit that like button and that subscribe button down below. And be sure to tune in Monday, possibly, for my next stream if old man winter weather in the nature holds off over here with a big snowstorm we're supposed to get tomorrow. So update here, Virginia 49, Duke 48, with 11:27 left to go in the second, setting up for a great finish in this one. Let's dig into some of these stats. I'll go into the leading scorers for both of the teams. So Zion and Barrett combined, these guys have 37 points right now for the Duke Blue Devils. RJ Barrett has 18 points. Zion has 19, leading the team for Duke. Zion has 4 rebounds right now, as well as we look at the Virginia leading scorers as we're at this TV timeout. As the leading scorer for Virginia seems to be DeAndre Hunter with 13 points. Kyle Guy has 11 points, same as the point guard Ty Jerome right now for Virginia, and they just retook the lead. Their first lead of the game happened when it was 7-5. Virginia was up, and then they just retook the lead a couple minutes ago as we're in this TV timeout. But RJ Barrett and Zion accounting for 37 of the total 48 Duke points so far in this game. That's pretty crazy. As we thank everybody for joining in right now and watching Behind the Arc Basketball on YouTube. Feel free to interact in the chat with me. And also, you're welcome to like my videos and hit that big red subscribe button down below. We're almost back here doing some play-by-play and live reactions throughout the college basketball season. We got Duke and Virginia today. As we are in a TV commercial break as we're almost back on the stream. Almost back here. We look at shooting percentage. Virginia has been shooting the ball really well. 61% shooting from the floor, 22 the 36 shots they've made. Duke is shooting 19 for 42, 45.2%. But Duke has been making their free throws when they count, as they're 8 for 14 from the line. It looks like we're back here underway as Duke will get the inbounds pass here with the ball, I believe. Yep. So it's RJ Barrett to inbound pass. It goes to Cam Reddish now. Cam Reddish trying to drive baseline with a jumper, and he hits, but they call an offensive foul push-off on the shot by Cam Reddish. Coach K can't believe it. And the ball will go back to Virginia on the turnover. So Cam Reddish hits the shot to try to make Duke go ahead, but he just pushes off on the baseline there on the Virginia defender, and they call an offensive foul. Virginia with the ball now, back in the low post, and they turn it over. Zion in control of this one. Now for Duke, past the right side of the timeline for Zion. 17 for 27 shooting in the paint for Duke so far today. From the outside, they're 2 for 15. Zion just got fouled inside the key, and he'll go to the line once again for 2, as Zion Williamson has 19 points in this one, trying to dribble inside the low post, and he gets interfered with by Mamidi Diakite, and Zion will go to the line for 2. Virginia up 49-48. Zion, though, at the line with his first, and he hits it to tie this game up at 49. 10:47 left in this one at Cameron Indoor Stadium. So we got some subs in the game for the Virginia Cavaliers. Coming out of the game is Mamidi Diakite for the Cavaliers. Zion with his second free throw. Hits it. 2 for 2 from the line right there for Zion, and Duke retakes the lead. Virginia on the inbounds pass now takes it past the timelines. Kiki Clark. Clark dribbles out, and now to the left wing. This is Kyle Guy now to the top of the key. Guy dribbles to the right side of the court behind the three-point line. Ty Jerome with the ball now as he tries to set up the Virginia offense here. Jerome trying to take it inside himself. Spin move. Feeds the ball inside, and the slam jam by Jack Salt as he fed the ball down low, and Salt slams it in to retake the lead back for the Cavaliers. Salt with his third point tonight. 51-50, trying to drive baseline. Oh, beautiful right-hand reverse layup underneath the basket by R.J. Barrett. Gets it to fall, and Duke retakes the lead back 52-51. 41 points combined for Williamson and Barrett. The rest of the team for Duke has 11. Floating up the shot and making it Ty Jerome for Virginia. They take the lead back. Lead changes all at once. Zion trying to drive inside. Can't get it to fall off the bottom of the rim. Gets his own rebound and up and in. Duke with a lead back. 54-53. We thought this would be a great finish. Now Virginia with the ball. Lead changes and lead changes. Virginia has it. At the right wing behind the arc is Ty Jerome. Jerome trying to set up the offense for the Cavaliers. Now he's trying to go inside. Lobs it cross court to the left corner. And left corner three. No, it's short on the mark and rebounded offensive board by Jerome of Virginia. He'll take it back out. He'll set up the offense. 9 minutes left. Virginia down by 1. The ball thrown to DeAndre Hunter was almost lost out of bounds. Hunter trying to drive inside, and no, he can't get it, but he's fouled in there by Duke, and he'll go to the line. And the first shot from the free throw line by Ty Jerome, and it goes down to tie this game up at 54. Virginia and Duke with 8:51 left to go. This is all knotted up. Ty Jerome hit his first free throw, and here's his second, and it's off the front rim of the iron. No good. Zion picks up the rebound. Zion Williamson at the top of the key behind the arc. Zion dribbling inside of the free throw line, hands it off. Now this is Cam Reddish trying to go inside. He can't get it, but he's fouled. And Cam Reddish for Duke will go to the line for 2. From the free throw line, Cam Reddish is a 72.1 free throw percent shooter on the season. He's got 7 points tonight with 6 rebounds. The first one by Reddish, and it's good from the line. Cam Reddish was the star against Florida State as he hit the game winner at the buzzer from behind the arc against the Seminoles last Friday. Reddish just hit his first free throw. Here's a second one. I think Zion has a couple more points than... Yeah, I'll update you on the break. Then RJ, but both of those guys combined, they have I think it's 43 points combined as Virginia just turns over the ball, passing it around the perimeter. I'm going to check on that as who's the leading scorer right now. Did they turn over the ball or Duke? Okay, so looks like it was last touch by Duke. They swatted it away as Virginia will get the inbounds. They're down by 1 with 8:15 left. Into the hands of Ty Jerome. 3-ball rimmed out at the front of the rim, controlled by Duke. It's Zion who gets the offensive board. Yeah, both of those guys, when the last commercial break went on, I can't do that because of like copyright laws, and once you do that, you get a strike. That's the only thing that you can't turn the camera to the game. As Duke tried to go inside, and the ball goes out of bounds, and Virginia gets it back. So, yeah, I'll look up that stat. So, okay, Zion is 23 right now. Barrett has 20. So, Zion just a couple more points than Barrett. As Virginia has the ball now at the right wing. This is Keehee Clark trying to go inside. Feeds it off to Jack Salt, and they lead them back outside around the perimeter, passing the ball, trying to drive baseline for the Cavaliers. And it looks like Braxton Key is fouled on the play. And we got ourselves a TV timeout here as we'll get back to the game. Just a minute. Duke up by 1, 55-54 against Virginia. Feel free to like my videos, subscribe to my channel as you've been watching Behind the Arc Basketball on YouTube. I cannot turn the cameras to the game due to getting a copyright strike. I cannot do that. They do a lot. Some of those people do that for the NFL, and they take the videos down like right after, and YouTube checks everything, so I can't do that. But we're at commercial break right now. I'll update you guys through the game. So Virginia 54, Duke 55, 7:42 second. Yeah, what a great game. If you guys missed out earlier, Zion's tomahawk dunk over the center for Virginia. Yeah, that's going to be on Sports Center tomorrow. That was just insane. All right, so let's take a look at these leading scores. I'll type them in here. So Zion has 23 points, and RJ has 20. Yeah, so those two combined have 43 points right now for the team out of the 55. So without Zion and Barrett, Duke would have 12 points if it wasn't for them, because they're counting for 43 out of the 55 points in this game, which is crazy. But yeah, let's go into some of the leading scorers here. I'm trying to see who's the leading scorer for the Cavaliers. Would be Devontae Hunter has 14. Ty Jerome has 13 for the Cavaliers. Kyle Guy has 11. Cam Reddish with 8, as he was the hero last week in the win over Florida State. Let's see some of these stats. Shooting the ball from the field, 60% is Virginia right now, 24 for 40, and Duke is 46.7 from the field, shooting 21 for 45. Rebounds, earlier in the game, Duke was out rebounding Virginia 8-0, but that's all changed as Duke's now still out rebounding Virginia, but it's 25-22. Nothing pretty much crazy for the stats here. Oh, Duke's made 11 free throws out of 18. Virginia is 4 for 7 from the line. So yeah, a lot more fouls, shooting fouls by the Cavaliers that they've committed that sent Duke to go to the line in this one. Looks like we're almost back to action here. So we got 7:42 left. And Duke is up by 1. Looks like we're back, and the first free throw goes off the top of the rim, no good, by Braxton Key. Second one by Key. That one hits, and it's knotted up at 55 here in Durham. Past the timeline with the ball now. This is R.J. Barrett, who hands it off to Zion at the right wing. Zion lobs it inside of Barrett, and he gets the jumper to fall. R.J. Barrett continuing his roll with 22 on the night. 57-55 Duke. Past the timeline for Virginia. Now it's Ty Jerome with the ball to the top of the key. It's DeAndre Hunter. Throws it back right corner. 3, rimmed out. Tried to go for the rebound. Virginia saved it, but it's thrown out of bounds. Looks like it was last touched by Duke, though. What a save in the right corner of the court off the rimmed out 3 by Jack Salt. Looks like Duke did touch that, though. So go back to Virginia with 7:05 left. Coach K, 39th season at Duke University, trying to go for his 1,042nd win overall. Winning percentage of 78.7. Winning percentage as looks like the refs discussed who has the ball. So, yeah, it was last touched by Duke. Virginia will get the inbound. Ty Jerome with a pass off on the inbounds. Now it's to Kyle Guy. Now into the hands back into the hands of Jerome, trying to drive baseline, kicks it out. Now it's Guy. Dribbling inside baseline. Is tied up between 2 defenders trying to get the ball out. He gets the ball into the paint, and there's a foul as Jack Salt will go to the line for 2. Shooting foul inside as Ty Jerome was tied up at the baseline underneath, and he gutted out towards the low post inside to Jack Salt, who gets fouled right there. So Salt to the line, and he misses. So if you're just joining us, Duke with a 57-55 lead with 6:46 left in the second. As Jack Salt goes to the free throw line for his second, hits it. And now Duke inbounds it into the hands of R.J. Barrett. He has 22 right now. Zion has 23. Zion has the ball at the right wing behind the arc. Passes it off to Barrett. At the right wing, passes it off top of the key. This is Cam Reddish. Cam Reddish trying to go inside, and looks like that's an offensive foul by Cam Reddish. So the refs call it. The ball will go back to Virginia. Cam Reddish trying to drive inside, and a charge was taken. Looked like Braxton Key was set in position for that one. Cam Reddish tried to take it inside, and Braxton Key takes the charge. Virginia gets the ball back down by 1. 6:25 left. Virginia with it. Jerome passing it inside. Oh, Zion with a huge block, but Virginia gets the ball back from behind the arc. No good. Rebounded by Duke. Taken up the floor now. This is Duke with possession of it. Zion now with the ball, trying to drive inside. Left-handed layup, and he gets it. Zion Williamson with 25. 59-56. The Duke Blue Devils up by 3. Zion, 9 for 15 from the floor. 7 boards, 25 points. Virginia now with the ball. Top of the key with Ty Jerome. Passes it inside at the free throw line. Now kicks it back outside. Trying to drive baseline. Can't get it to fall. There's a foul by Duke on the play. It looks like the foul again was on Javin DeLaurier of Duke. I think that's his second foul he picks up. So again, Virginia goes back to the line. What an incredible block just a minute ago. Duke will show you why they lead all of college basketball in blocks. They average, I think it's 8.1 blocks per game. First in college basketball in blocks. The team that's in second has just a little bit over 6 blocks per game they average, and that's the Washington Huskies. Let's see on the last play. Trying to drive baseline under the hoop was Braxton Key. And looks like Javin DeLaurier for Duke tried to take the charge. Oh, no. Okay, so DeLaurier followed out for Duke. And the shot goes in on the free throw. So the first one goes home for Braxton Key, down by 2 for the Cavaliers. We got 5:41 left. Braxton Key is a 77% free throw shooter from the line. He hits them both on that possession. He's 5 for 6 tonight. Virginia pulls winning one. 5:38 left. Taken past the timeline. This is R.J. Barrett. Dribbles the ball at the free throw line. This is Marquise Bolden. That's in. Hands it off to Zion. Zion trying to take it inside, and he's fouled. Zion will go to the line again for 2. So if you're just joining us, the Duke Blue Devils up in this one, 59-58 for this historic battle of the number ones. Number one in the coaches poll, the undefeated Virginia Cavaliers, the only undefeated team left in the number one AP Top 25 Duke Blue Devils. Zion for his first from the line, misses it. Zion has 25 points right now, trying to add to that. Second one rims out too and rebounded by Salt of Virginia, taken the other way. Past the timeline now. This is for the Cavaliers. Ty Jerome has it in his hands. Duke's 11 for 20 right now from the free throw line. Virginia's 8 for 13. As if you're just joining us, 5 minutes and 8 seconds left. Virginia down by 1, 58-59. Ty Jerome with the ball trying to drive in it inside the paint. Feeds it back outside to the elbow. Tried to go reverse. The layup got rejected by the bottom of the backboard. Zion with a bounce pass in transition to Cam Reddish, but looks like that one as the ball goes out of bounds there. The refs will discuss if that was a foul on the play or not. As Cam Reddish trying to take it up in the lane. He was stripped of the ball. And Duke will call a timeout on that one. So the Duke Blue Devils are up 59-58 right now in this close battle of the ones here in ACC action. So let's just see. I want to get clarification on that play. Okay, so yeah, Duke timeout. So we got ourselves a timeout on the floor here with Duke up by 1. So I'm just going to update this for you guys. So Virginia has 58. Duke has 59. And it's 4:51 left in this game. Let's see. These team leaders. We have to dig into this and see these combined points between, Barrett and Williamson. So Zion is 25. RJ is 22. That's a whole lot of points. That's 47 out of the possible 59 for Duke. The rest of the team for Duke has 12. We look towards the top scorers for Virginia. Virginia seems like it's DeAndre Hunter, who has 14, leading the scoring right now for the Cavaliers. Want to see blocks. Oh, okay, so Zion, Duke only has 1 block so far. Wow, that's crazy. I thought they'd have like way more blocks than that 1 block, but I guess that's all. Wow. What about the top 25? What's going on here inside the top 25? Okay, so Texas Tech is down against Baylor 60-53 as we're on this TV timeout. Texas Tech could be losing two in a row if they can't make the 7-point comeback in Waco. Or, yeah, as far as the other games, a lot of games. Kansas got upset earlier today. And Oklahoma and Texas tips off in about 10 minutes or so. As if you're just joining us, the Duke Blue Devils up against the Virginia Cavaliers 59-58 with 4 minutes and 51 seconds in this one. Next Saturday, it's a good game as well as the Kansas Jayhawks and the Kentucky Wildcats go at it. So here we go, back to action here at Cameron Indoor Stadium. Bounce pass inside and a slam to Zion. So Duke on the inbound feed and they get it, and Zion is 27. 61-58. Duke is up with 4:40 left. Past the timeline for Virginia. As this is Ty Jerome who feeds it inside. Ball's fed outside, and now Jack Salt goes from inside to the top of the key, and it goes down off the backboard. DeAndre Hunter hits the shot for Virginia. 61-60. Duke up by 1. The ball into the hands of R.J. Barrett, who now has Zion. Passes it off to. At the right wing behind the arc, Zion dribbling to the top of the key and dribbling to his left. This is now Cam Reddish trying to drive inside. Oh, Cam slipped with the ball and turns it over out of bounds. Cam Reddish trying to drive inside, and he just tripped over his own feet and slipped on the court face first, and will turn the ball back to Virginia with 4:03 left in this game. (61-60). The Blue Devils up by 1. The crowd on its feet with the Cameron Crazies here in Durham. Virginia with the ball. Keehy Clark passes it off to Ty Jerome, in control of the ball for the Cavaliers. At the top of the key from behind the arc. DeAndre Hunter now passes it off. And now back to Ty Jerome for the Cavaliers with the ball around the Duke logo, and now towards the top of the key, trying to drive inside and try to float it over a Duke defender, and the ball goes out of bounds off the rim. And looks like his last touch by Virginia, so turnover by Virginia as Jerome's trying to plead his case to the officials about that turnover. And Tony Bennett, head coach of Virginia, can't believe it. Can't believe that that was a turnover, that the refs called that. As the ball will go back to the Duke Blue Devils with a timeout on the floor, and I'll update you guys once again. A great finish in store, hopefully, for this one. Maybe it'll be like last week with Cam Reddish hitting the buzzer beater against Florida State. That was pretty incredible. Just Florida State just didn't man up on him and left them all alone from behind the arc at the right wing. Drops down the 3 at the buzzer. We'll see. Duke up 61-60, and for those of you tuning in, feel free to subscribe to my channel, like my videos, and you can also comment in the chat as well. Feel free, talk about basketball, talk about anything. Big NFL games going on tomorrow as well. I'm just going to update this for you guys. So Virginia with 60, Duke with 61, and 3:33 left in the second. We'll have a good finish to the end, hopefully. So we're not done. Not even close to being done here. Let's see these stats. Coach K in his 39th season. He's the first ever coach in all of college basketball to reach 1,000 wins, and he's going for his 1,042nd win ever in his career. And he has a 78.7 winning percentage record, along with 12 regular season ACC titles, 14 ACC tournament titles, 12 Final Fours, and 5 national titles. Duke playing like a national title team for this game, as a lot of people thought that they wouldn't do that hot in this game since Trey Jones, their star point guard, is out. But yeah, they've been keeping their own and challenging to be the first team to beat Virginia since UMBC, and that's what the Cameron Crazies and the student sections and the fans here at Duke have. They have posters out on the court that they're holding up in their seats, saying UMBC, that Duke could be the next, as Virginia hasn't lost since that game, the round of 64 in the tournament. The first time a 16 beat a 1 in March Madness on March 16, 2018, as Virginia dropped that one by 20 to the University of Maryland's Baltimore County, as we are back to action with 3:33 left. The only remaining undefeated team, the Virginia Cavaliers. There were 2 today, and now there are 1. Michigan lost to Wisconsin by 10. Duke now has the ball in the inbounds pass in the hands of, that was Cam Reddish, and now it's back in the hands of RJ Barrett. Barrett at the top of the key to Zion now at the right wing behind the arc, and back to Barrett. Barrett with 10 on the shot clock. Barrett has 22. Williamson has 27. Barrett trying to take it inside and hits it home off the backboard and in for Duke with 3:02 left, up 63-60. Virginia now with the ball. RJ with 24. Slowing down the tempo and calling the play is Ty Jerome. Hands it off to Keehi Clark for the Cavaliers. Clark with the ball. Passes it at the free throw line. That is to DeAndre Hunter. Now corner 3 pass. No good by Virginia as they took the shot from the 3 from the left wing towards the corner and rebounded by Duke. 63-60. 2.5 minutes left in this one. This could be another great finish, just like last week when Duke beat Florida State at the buzzer, into the hands of RJ Barrett. He'll slow down the tempo, call a play with 9 on the shot clock. Barrett trying to drive inside, and he gets it to fall with the left hand as Duke is up by 5 with 2:18 left. And the fans are loving it on the stream right now. Thank you for tuning in, everybody, as you've been watching Behind the Arc Basketball on YouTube, play-by-play and live reactions all season long throughout the college basketball season and into the conference tournament. As Duke now has a 5-point lead in this one. RJ Barrett getting that one to fall as he dribbled past a Duke defender inside with a burst of speed, lays it off the glass and in. Looks like we have a TV timeout here, so a little break in the action. I'll update you guys once again. So Virginia 60, Duke 65. As the Duke Blue Devils are trying to be the first team to beat Virginia this season. Virginia undefeated at 16-0. 4-0 in ACC play, 4-0 at games away from Blacksburg. And the Duke Blue Devils trying to be the first team to beat the Cavaliers, as it's a #1 versus #1, as there's a TV timeout, as we'll get back to action shortly with 2:18 left in the second. Feel free to like my video, subscribe down below, and hit that big red subscribe button, and feel free to also interact with me as we got ourselves a great finish in store for the Duke Blue Devils. Duke is shooting inside the paint 23 for 34 right now. Outside, they're shooting 3 for 16. The #1 Duke Blue Devils doing it today without their all-star point guard Trey Jones, as he suffered an AC joint injury against Syracuse earlier in the week on Monday. A lot of people thought it was really, really serious. It turned out not to be that serious as he returned to practice. As it looks like we're back into this one, as the last play before the timeout was that RJ Barrett laid the ball in and he got fouled. So he'll go to the line to try to complete the 3-point play, and he misses it off the rim and rebounded by Virginia. Down by 5 with 2:12 as we get back under action after the timeout. Takes it past the timeline. For Virginia, looks like that is Ty Jerome, the point guard, who passes it off to Kyle Guy and back to Jerome. Jerome trying to call a play with 1:56, 8 on the shot clock. Jerome, deep 3 from the outside, and he misses. Battle for the rebound, and Duke has it. Duke up by 5. 1:45, 25 on the shot clock. Lots of 5s out there. Also, Virginia is 2 for 15 shooting from three-point range today. Duke is 2 for 13 as the ball's in the hands of Cam Reddish from the outside. The ball now in the hands of R.J. Barrett from the right wing. Barrett trying to go inside. R.J. Barrett stripped in the lane. Zion with an offensive board. 2 on the shot clock for Duke. It didn't hit the rim. 1 on the shot clock in. No, could not go in. Virginia gets the rebound. A minute 15. They're down by 5. They need to score if they want to make this a game pass. The hoop too strong by Virginia. Off the backboard, could not go for the Cavaliers. DeAndre Hunter just too strong in the lane, and Duke gets the offensive rebound, and Virginia fouls them. A minute and 9 left, and the Duke Blue Devils trying to close out on the books to make sure that there is no more undefeated teams in the nation. After Michigan losing today to Wisconsin, they're making sure that Virginia loses to them today. And they'll say that if they lose this one, that the 2-game winning streak would not seem real, and it would not seem real to lose to Syracuse and then at home to Virginia with back-to-back games, as Duke is in control of this one. 65-60. Marquise Bolden from the line hits the free throw for the Blue Devils, up by 6. So Duke is up by 6 with a minute and 9 left against Virginia, trying to hand Virginia their first loss of the season. And the second one goes down for Bolden. Feel free to like my videos and subscribe to my channel if you wish. Interact with me in the chat as well if you guys wish. And thank you for joining the video. A minute and 4 now. Virginia has the ball, down by 7. As now Ty Jerome has it, just dribbling in the outside perimeter. They really need to score now as they're dribbling all over the court. And finally, Duke fouls. I think that's Ty Jerome who's going to go to the line for the Cavaliers. Yes, thank you for the like, guys. 67-60. Duke is up with 53.8. I'm going to put in and update everybody on the score. First one goes down for Duke, or Virginia, right there on the free throw. So 61-67. I'll update you guys right on the score now. Second shot for Ty Jerome. He has 14. No good. Rebounded by Duke. And it's R.J. Barrett. Looks like we got a kicked ball on the play with 49.8 seconds remaining. R.J. Barrett rebounded it. Looks like Duke will get the ball back on the inbounds. 67-61, and Virginia's not following. And what happened? A kicked ball, but they'll call, I think they're going to call a foul on Virginia, or was it out of bounds? We'll see. So either way, DeAndre Hunter can't believe what just happened. Is, let's see. Ooh. R.J. Barrett dribbling towards the corner trap, and he does get fouled, and the refs agree. And Barrett to the line, hits his first for the Blue Devils, trying to capitalize and make sure that no more teams are undefeated in college basketball. 68-61, second one by Barrett from the line, and he is good for both of them. 69-61, timeout on the floor by Coach K to discuss some things over, as Duke is in control of this one. 69-61 at Cameron Indoor Stadium. And what a great game for these Blue Devils. Great game plan by one of the best, most respected NCAA college coaches in the history of college basketball, Coach K. First ever coach in men's college Division I basketball to hit the 1,000-win mark. With this win against Virginia, if they can close it out, they can have their 1,042nd win as head coach for Coach K. Duke's looking like they'll do that right now. We've got 44.3 seconds left. Virginia gets the inbounds with 40. Now they need to really drive in the slam. Goes down by Braxton Key, trying to make something out of it. 6-point game. Duke in the trap, and oh, it was almost turned over. I think they fouled before the pass was almost stolen, and yeah, I think Duke will go to the line. Virginia almost stole that. They just fouled too soon. That's what happened there. So 36 seconds left. Duke will go back to the line, and of course, it's Zion, 71% from the line shooting. He's 7 for 12 tonight. Trying to extend the lead and misses the first. Stranger things have happened, that's for sure. Oregon against UCLA last week, 1:01 left. Oregon was up by 9. UCLA came back to win it, and Zion missed both, and Virginia gets the defensive rebound with 30 seconds left. Down by 6 is the Cavaliers. Deep three. Oh, he hits it! Kyle Guy, the point guard from the outside. Duke cannot believe it. Virginia just cannot go away. Oh, man. 5-0 scoring run with 23 seconds left and a timeout taken. 66-69. Virginia climbing back in it in the waning seconds of this one. Unbelievable three there. Kyle Guy launching that one up for the Cavaliers from the right wing. All alone, Duke left him, and he hit the three. I'm going to update you guys on this. So, yeah, 23 seconds left. And Virginia has scored 5 points in the last 25 seconds of this one. As Duke will get the inbounds. Now they're going to have to foul on a Virginia does. So they foul R.J. Barrett. He'll go to the line. Duke is up 69-66. 20.9 seconds left in. If you're Duke, you do not want to do what you just did at the free throw line. As Zion missed both of them. And then Virginia got the rebound, went up the court, threw the ball outside, and drained the three. Here's the first one from the line for Barry. He hits it. 70-66. 20.9 seconds left. The second one from the line for R.J. Barrett. He hits them both. 71-66. Virginia inbounds passes it, and now they need to go to court. Ty Jerome with the ball. They need to score. They're holding back. They're down by multiple scores. Deep three, no good. Offensive board, and looks like there's a foul by Duke with 8.9 seconds left. So Virginia goes back to the line, but they really needed to score. They couldn't be holding the ball in their hands and calling a play. They needed to drain a three, and too much time. They just went down right there. So Virginia down 66-71. The first free throw goes for the Cavaliers. This one's not done yet. 8.9 seconds. 66. 67-61. 68-61. As that shot goes down. Timeout called on the floor, and now they get back to action. Okay, so Zion inbounds it, almost stolen by Cam Reddish, and he gets fouled. So Duke will go back to the line again with 8.3. Virginia just will not quit. Cam Reddish, 72% from the line this season, as he'll go back to the line. Duke up by 3 with 8.3 seconds left. So here's Cam Reddish for his first. And he hits it. Swoosh on that one to make it 72-68. Duke is trying to take home the W here and start a new win streak. And also trying to knock off Virginia, so there's no more undefeated teams. Ball rims out, 72-68. Virginia with a rebound, and now Virginia's driving, and they lose control of it with 2 seconds. 1 second. The shot doesn't matter. They get it anyway. 72-70, the final, as Virginia would need a 4-point play out of it, and the shot was taken inside the elbow, and Duke knocks off the Virginia Cavaliers at home with the Duke Blue Devils at home in Durham. And nobody is undefeated in college basketball no more, as we got ourselves a final. Duke 72, Virginia 70, as Coach K gets his 1,042nd win in his Duke career. And I'll just update that score for you guys. So Virginia 70, Duke 72. Thank you guys for tuning into my stream. Greatly appreciate it. Feel free to hit that like button. Feel free to also hit that big red subscribe button down below. If you guys have anything you like to chat about or anything, feel free anytime. I think my next stream, depending on the weather, will be possibly Monday night. I think North Carolina, Virginia Tech, if the snowstorm isn't that bad. But other than that, no more undefeated teams anymore. As the Duke Blue Devils win it, Duke moves to 15-2 on the season, 4-1 in ACC play, as they move to 9-1 on the season. The Virginia Cavaliers suffer their first loss since the March Madness round of 64 when they lost to UMBC by 20. That was the first time that a 16 seed ever beat a 1 seed, as Virginia falls to 16-1, 4-1 in ACC play, and there are no more undefeated teams anymore. Michigan lost earlier today, and that just about wraps it up from here. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Feel free to like my videos, subscribe to my channel on Behind the Arc Basketball on YouTube throughout the college basketball season, conference tournaments, and March Madness tournaments. I'll be doing play-by-play live reactions of college basketball games that I stream and have going on the TV, so feel free to like my stuff. But signing off, guys. Have a nice night. Stay safe. If you guys live on the East Coast, big snowstorm coming in a few hours, dropping like a foot of snow up towards like New England and the Northeast. So stay safe, guys. Duke won it tonight, and enjoy. This has been it, as you guys have been watching Behind the Arc Basketball on YouTube.